Peace and salutations. Welcome to Meta Tripping. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to be looking into the state of the sacred union, basically with sacred partnerships, divine feminine, divine masculine energies, how they are faring through these incredible shift energies that we're experiencing right now, and how they're coming into union, whether it's directly or it's through a process that may not look like union at the moment, but is kind of working its way towards it. So cards shuffled. I'm going to start with the divine feminine. And circling for the divine masculine as well. And the unifying energy between each. Oh, this is wonderful. Oh, I love when I can give especially good news. All right, I have been feeling this myself. Okay, so really briefly before I begin, because I've had myself on a brevity challenge when it comes to reading so that I can be more dynamic and effective in relaying information without, kind of consuming too much time. These readings are the primary objective of the state of the sacred union does gear itself toward the union of two, but even more significantly, and it's also a harmonious aspect, whether it's within two or within one, but ultimately the union of the inner divine feminine and the inner divine masculine within each and every person. So whether or not you identify as someone on a sacred union journey, whether you're seeking a soulmate or dealing with a soulmate, whether you found yourself in a karmic relationship, or catalytic relationship, or if you ascribe to the twin flame journey, these readings will help to serve, but they're not locked into any one system. So I just wanted to get that out. Okay, so starting with the mind placement for the feminine, we have the Ace of Swords reversed, and the Five of Staffs, aka Wands, is accenting it. The vibes I'm getting around the Ace of Swords for the divine feminine is a lot of fog-headedness right now. Spirit is saying, take your pace. You cannot rush this. I can, just a moment. There is a rewiring process taking place, and this is affecting, it's affecting mental functions. It's also affecting physical functions to an extent, but primarily the ability to focus is challenged right now. Accompanying it is the Five of Staffs, aka Wands, reversed, and that card is the energies around it is that there are some trouble starting energies, stalking energies, that sort of thing, possessor energies. to avoid, just a moment. Yeah, the Spirit is saying to completely ignore it. But that may have a lot to do with the sluggishness, the mental sluggishness right now, just being kind of exhausted with having to deal with these sorts of energies. It's the same energy that was showing up in the Venus and Scorpio retrograde transit, I think, for a lot of us. In the body placement, you have the Nine of Cups and the Seven of Swords, and that is accenting. The energy I'm getting around the Nine of Cups is really just there is an emotional sense of peace and serenity and hopes for the future. And also some of your hopes are manifesting, but you're feeling it more on an emotional level that is giving it a feel of levity to the body. To some extent, I wouldn't say this is, kind of like go crazy and do backflips energy by any stretch of the imagination, even though there's a 9 in the Nine of Cups card, and that is a martial number. This energy is for, the Spirit is saying quite literally, ascending. The Spirit is saying allow yourself to be raised. Accompanying this, however, is the Seven of Swords, and the vibe I'm getting around the Seven of Swords is that there are still, and I do believe this is pretty much the same energy that accompanied the first card. But the Seven of Swords energy, this is like petty people or a petty person or a stalkerish person or energy still trying to manipulate and find a way in. So the advice from Spirit is remain vigilant physically. There's also a message that is advising me to avoid going out alone if it can be avoided. At least for today is what's coming from Spirit. Focus on your heart-centeredness. And much of that negative energy will dissipate. Just in the act of focusing on your heart-centeredness. In the soul placement, the Death card is reversed with the Ace of Staffs, aka Wands, accenting it. And what I'm getting around the Death card is the Divine Feminine is still trying to figure things out that Spirit is saying turn your attention away from it. So there are matters we're still trying to figure out. I've caught myself actually where the mind's trying to go back to something and figure it. Sometimes things that don't make sense just don't make sense. Sometimes the insanity of others is just the insanity of others. It's not a math equation. It's never going to make sense outside of the fact that there are some people who are their response to their early childhood and even past life or genetically passed down generational wounding is sorry, bless you. I got someone sneezed and I'm like, should I stop the reading to say bless you? I have to say bless you. So anyways, some people deal with their trauma identity in very negative ways when they're in a state of arrogance or they've lost control. And arrogance is really a form of desperation to feel confident while not feeling confident at all. The accent card here is the Ace of Staffs reversed. And the vibe I'm getting is the more you try to figure out these situations and keep putting your attention towards something that's supposed to be passing out and dissolving out of your energy field, the more you drag yourself down. And, from the body placement, what came from Spirit is you're supposed to be lifting yourself up. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. Overall, the Divine Feminine energy is being looked after right now. Just a moment. And Spirit is saying you just need to rest as much as possible. Saturday, there may be more of a return of your energy. But for the time being, we're actually ascending, we're actually moving up vibrationally in the astral. And it used to feel very different before, but so much has been cleared that it's far more enjoyable now and less strained than it was previously. All right, so this is part 1, and when I come back, I will read the Divine Masculine's energy, and we will then look to the combining energies. Unfortunately, I'm still figuring out why, but there seems to be a cutoff limit with the YouTube videos, and I'm not sure if it's just because of the format, because it's really just like an audio recording with the logo. But until that time, I'm going to keep everything under the limit, and that may mean that there have to be, 1 and 2 part videos. Thank you for tuning in, and join me for part 2, where we're looking to the Divine Masculine and the unifying energies of the union, which are beautiful. Peace.